The global middleweight adventure segment has grown into one of the most competitive battlegrounds in the motorcycle world. Riders expect real long-distance capability, manageable performance, and modern features, without venturing into the towering power and price tags of full-size ADVs. Into this tight arena enters the QJMotor SVT650X, a machine that has quickly drawn attention for one key reason. It promises the feel of a classic V-twin adventure bike at a far friendlier price. Cycle World's first ride impressions frame it as more hit than miss, a phrase that captures both its surprising strengths and the honest limitations that come from its aggressive value-driven positioning. Exploring what the SVT650X delivers, where it still lags behind segment leaders, and what type of rider will benefit most from its mix of performance, character, and affordability. A strong first impression, the V-twin advantage. One of the biggest appeals of the SVT650X is its 645 cubic centimeters V-twin engine, a layout beloved for its torque, pulse, and emotional character. While many modern midsize adventure bikes are shifting toward parallel twins for cost and compactness, the SVT650X takes a more traditional route, one that many riders still prefer for real-world rideability. Producing around 75 to 76 horsepower and roughly 65 Newton-meters of torque, the bike avoids chasing peak numbers and instead focuses on predictable, usable delivery. Out on the road, the engine's charm becomes central to the riding experience. There's a pleasing pull through the mid-range, enough acceleration to make passing maneuvers easy, and a smoothness that lends itself well to long touring days. Cycle World notes that the power delivery is more than enough for freeway cruising, long-distance rides, and even spirited two-up journeys. For many riders, this spirited yet approachable personality is exactly what an adventure motorcycle should offer. In an era where many bikes increasingly feel similar because of standardized engine formats, the SVT650X stands out by keeping the traits of a genuine V-twin alive. Built for long-distance travel, a key promise of any adventure bike lies not only in how it performs, but in how well it supports the rider over extended journeys. Here, QJMotor has made an intentional effort to deliver a thoughtfully equipped package. The SVT650X receives a large 20-liter fuel tank, enabling long touring distances between fill-ups. Crash protection in the form of bars, a bash plate, and handguards. A full-color TFT display. Comfort-focused ergonomics. Luggage compatibility for side boxes and touring gear. This list places it firmly within the expectations of the modern ADV buyer. The ergonomic triangle is upright and neutral, giving riders confidence during low-speed maneuvering while remaining relaxed during multi-hour highway rides. Wind protection is solid for a mid-size model, and the seat offers comfort suited for long days on the saddle. What is especially notable is that these features come as part of the standard package, not as costly add-ons. In many cases, competitors from Japan or Europe require optional accessory packages to match what the SVT650X already includes. For riders looking to start touring immediately without breaking their budget on extras, this matters. The weight penalty, stability over agility. Every motorcycle delivers its experience through compromises, and in the case of the SVT650X, the most important one is weight. At around 236 kilograms weight, it is heavier than several competing models in its segment. While this doesn't cripple the bike by any means, it does shape its dynamic character. On the pavement, that weight translates to a planted, stable feel, especially at higher speeds. Riders who prefer confidence on long, straight highways or sweeping curves will appreciate this composure. The bike feels solid and reassuring, especially when fully loaded with gear. However, the trade-off appears when negotiating tight corners, performing low-speed maneuvers, or venturing onto loose gravel paths. While the suspension and geometry offer predictability, the SVT650X cannot match the nimbleness of lighter rivals. For aggressive off-road riders, this may be a decisive factor. For road-focused tours or casual weekend explorers, it is a compromise that may be entirely acceptable. In the competitive mid-weight adventure class, This blend of strengths and weaknesses reveals the bike's identity, more of a road-biased adventure tourer than a hardcore dirt tool. Value at its core, a price few rivals can match. Where the SVT650X pulls truly ahead is in its price-to-features ratio. QJMotor positions this motorcycle significantly below its Japanese and European rivals, often by thousands depending on local markets. This makes it one of the most accessible ways to enter the middleweight adventure segment without sacrificing key equipment or performance. Reviewers note this factor as one of the defining aspects of the motorcycle. While some buyers may approach the brand cautiously, given its newer presence in Western markets, the actual hardware and spec sheet make a compelling case. What QJMotor seems to understand is that many riders prioritize value, practicality, and real-world performance over the prestige of a particular badge. For those buyers, the SVT650X delivers an impressive amount of motorcycle for the money. Build quality and refinement. Respectable, with room to improve. Despite its strengths, the SVT650X doesn't escape comparison with long-established premium brands. When examined closely, the overall finish, tuning finesse, and some component refinement remain a tier below the biggest names. This does not mean the bike feels cheap or flimsy. Far from it. The construction is respectable, the materials feel solid, and the equipment list is genuinely competitive. However, riders switching from a BMW, Suzuki, or KTM may find noticeable differences in suspension refinement, engine mapping polish, the tactile feel of the switchgear, long-term dealer network confidence. These are areas where QJMotor, as a rising global manufacturer, still has growth ahead. But for many buyers, especially those new to adventure bikes, these differences may be minor relative to the overall value proposition. Who the SVT650X is truly for. Not every motorcycle is built for every rider, and the SVT650X occupies a very specific and appealing niche. It is perfect for riders who want a V-twin adventure bike without paying premium pricing, prioritize touring comfort, real-world torque, and long-range practicality, value complete equipment included from the start, are open to choosing a newer brand for significant savings, spend most of their riding time on pavement or light off-road. On the other hand, riders who focus on hard enduro-style off-road performance or who require the highest levels of suspension and chassis finesse may prefer competitors from KTM, Yamaha, or Triumph. In short, this motorcycle targets value-conscious adventure riders who want more motorcycle, more character, and more touring usability for their budget, without needing class-leading off-road capability.
Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe if you like videos like this. Thank you.